In this demonstration, we're going to verify that the DevTest components are functioning properly. All of the DevTest components should have started successfully, so we'll do some quick verification. The first thing we'll do is open DevTest portal. We specify the username and password to log in. We're using admin. Looks like the portal comes up fine. Note that if you're using the default Derby database, you'll get an information message at the bottom of the screen indicating that Derby isn't supported for production use. Let's take a quick look at what components are running. We'll say monitor server health, expand this here, and we can see that we've got a registry coordinator, our simulator east and west, and VSE running. And you see the summary view up top, 1 VSE, 1 coordinator, and 2 simulators. Note that the Lisa Bank kiosk is running fine and connected to demo server. So let's start DevTest Workstation to do some quick testing. The DevTest Workstation is pointing at the local system, DT server, so that's fine. So we click OK to do the connection. We're going to have to specify username and password. Username is going to be admin, and we're going to use admin as the default password as well since we just installed this. So Workstation has started up. Let's look to make sure the Workstation can get to the different components of DevTest. So there are no tests currently running. If we look at simulators, we actually have 2 simulators, Simulator East and Simulator West, that are available. And the number of instances available for each for running tests is 256. We have obviously the coordinator server as well and the VSE. So what we're going to do now is run a test using a staging document. The staging doc that I'm going to be using here was just created. Let's take a quick look at it. The staging document is going to have 2 instances. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be running the tests we toss at it twice. What we've done is we've done a distribution selection here based on percentage, and we've specified that Simulator East and Simulator West are going to share the load equally as far as tests running. Since we're running 2 tests, we're going to have 1 test assigned to Simulator East and 1 assigned to Simulator West. So let's close this and run a test. The test that we're going to run is called multi-tier combo. We're going to right-click here and we're going to stage the test. So we say stage test. What we do is we specify our staging document, which was the run to users 1 cycle that we specified. Coordinator at default is fine, and we stage the test. Okay, the test has been staged but isn't running yet. So to run this, we're going to set up the event set to be the common event set. We're going to specify auto refresh here, and if we look at this, we actually have 2 simulators specified, right? This is our Simulator East and West, and each of those has an instance. Now, we can check with the registry here as well to see what's happening. We can see that as far as the simulators, we've got our Simulator East and West, and you notice that there's 255 instances available instead of the 256 because 1 instance on each of the simulators has been reserved. Okay, so let's close that. And what we'll do now is we'll run the test. Okay, and the test has run and completed successfully. We can also check the performance statistics here. So we can close this. Let's open up the project panel again. So the tests ran, 1 from each simulator, and queried the DevTest server that we had running successfully. So now let's deploy a virtual service. We bring Portal back up. And to deploy the virtual service, we want to be in Bank V6, which we are as far as the current project is concerned. We look for managing of virtual services. And we have a kiosk V6 here, which is what we're going to deploy. We select that and we deploy it. Okay, and as far as a group tag, we'll call it bank. We'll set the think time to 0 and we'll say deploy. Okay, so it's saying that the kiosk v6 virtual service deployed successfully. If we take a look over here under virtual services VSE, we'll see indeed that kiosk v6 did start up and its current state is running. The group is bank and there are no transactions currently against it. So we have the kiosk sitting here, and the kiosk is currently talking to 8080, which is the port that the demo server is on. What we want to do is have it talk to our virtual service, which is currently sitting at 8001. So we set that and we refresh. If we go back and look at the portal, we see that there's a transaction that's actually been logged against our virtual service. So basically we deployed a virtual service using the portal and the virtual service is responding. So what we do now is we stop the virtual service and we get rid of it here, so we'll remove it. Okay, so we've removed the virtual service. So if we go back to the kiosk now, we do a reset here, what's going to happen is we get an error message because the virtual service is no longer responding. So we just verified that we could execute a test case and that we could deploy a virtual service using the portal.